This is your economics video on the law of supply. In previous videos, we talked about demand, which is behavior of buyers. The law of supply and the supply line on a supply and demand graph represents the behavior of people that produce and sell products. So the law of supply comes from the behavior of sellers. And a quantity that's supplied is how many units of a good they're going to supply at a specific price. Remember, suppliers have to be both willing and able to sell the product at various prices. The law of supply says that as the price of a good rises, the quantity that the supplier will want to supply will also go up, all other things being equal. This means that there is a positive correlation between the price and the quantity of the good for the suppliers. Assuming that everything else is equal, including the cost it took to produce the product, as the price you can sell it at rises, then that means your profit margin goes up. And suppliers or sellers want to produce more goods and sell more goods as the price of the product goes up, because the profit is going to be bigger. So here's an example of an upward sloping supply line. Supply, again, is always upward sloping because there's a positive correlation between price and quantity. Here I have labeled this line supply 1. And I've, of course, put a title on it, which is the market for ice cream cones. Price is always on the vertical and quantity is always on the horizontal. But just like with demand, the supply lines can shift. And when the entire line shifts, we call that the market supply line, either increasing or decreasing. This is what an increase in supply looks like. Remember, anytime a line shifts to the right, it is an increase. So an increase in supply means that the quantity of units supplied will rise despite the price or at all possible prices. A decrease in supply is when the line shifts to the left. And so here we have a supply decrease for the market for ice cream cones, and that means suppliers are going to supply less units of quantity at all of the possible prices. If we go back to our packs of gum example, you'll notice that at $0, if we can only sell the product at a price for $0, there is no supplier that wants to produce a certain quantity at $0. Because obviously you'd spend money to produce the product, which we call cost, and then you can only sell it for a price of $0, you'd be losing money. But as the packs of gum go up in price from $1 to $6, there is a certain amount of quantity that suppliers are willing and able to supply. And as the price of the pack of gum rises, then there's more profit margin, assuming that the cost is the same.